Music and dance have always had a profound role in human culture, acting as conduits for emotion, spirituality, and expression. In the realm of Sufism, this role is magnified to an almost divine level, where music and dance become tools for transcending the material world and connecting to the divine. Among the most influential figures in the Sufi tradition is the poet, philosopher, and mystic Rumi, whose teachings have echoed across centuries. His approach to spirituality, deeply embedded in the practice of Sama, is a testament to the transformative power of music and movement. The mystical experience of Sama, a sacred ceremony involving music, poetry, and dance, serves as a means to achieve spiritual enlightenment and union with God. As we explore the role of music and dance in Rumi's Sufi tradition, we are not merely examining an aesthetic practice, but diving into a profound spiritual experience that unites the body, mind, and soul. In this essay, we will investigate how Sama, as a practice rooted in Rumi's Sufism, functions as a powerful medium for spiritual awakening. We will also explore the symbolic significance of music and dance in the Sufi tradition, examining their relationship to the mystical journey of the seeker. Ultimately, we will see how Rumi's teachings on music and dance continue to resonate today, offering a timeless invitation for individuals to experience the divine through rhythm and movement. Before we delve deeper into the fascinating world of Rumi and Sufism, let me take a moment to welcome you to the Unfolding Journey channel. Here, we embark on a continuous exploration of mystical traditions, spiritual practices, and philosophical insights from across the world. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just beginning to explore the deeper aspects of life, you'll find content that invites reflection, growth, and understanding. Our journey into Rumi's Sufi tradition today is just one of many that will unfold together. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay connected with our growing community of truth seekers. With that, let's dive in. To understand the role of music and dance in Rumi's Sufi tradition, we must first explore the practice of Sama. Sama, meaning listening in Arabic, is a ritualistic form of devotion that involves music, poetry, and dance. It is considered one of the most essential aspects of Sufi spirituality, particularly in the order that Rumi was associated with, the Mevlevi order, also known as the Whirling Dervishes. The purpose of Sama is not simply to entertain, but to foster a deep, transcendent connection with the divine. It is believed that through the act of listening to sacred music, engaging in dance, and experiencing the poetry of mystics, the seeker can enter a state of spiritual ecstasy. The rhythm of the music, the movement of the body, and the spiritual words of the poet all serve as an invitation to move beyond the self and unite with the eternal truth. For Rumi, Sama was a form of spiritual intoxication, a state of being in which the self dissolves and the soul merges with the divine. It is through this practice that one experiences the sacred union that Rumi often spoke of in his poetry. The music, the dance, and the poetry all become expressions of the seeker's deep longing for God, and through Sama, that longing is transformed into a direct experience of divine love and unity. In the Mevlevi tradition, Sama is performed in a highly structured manner. The whirling dance, which has become iconic and is often associated with the Dervishes, symbolizes the soul's journey toward God. As the dancers whirl in a counterclockwise direction, their bodies and minds lose their sense of ego, and they become vessels for divine energy. The turning represents the spiritual ascent toward the divine, as the dancer seeks to shed the illusion of the self and be absorbed into the presence of God. The music that accompanies Sama is equally crucial. It is not simply background noise or entertainment. It is the vehicle that carries the seeker into the heart of the spiritual experience. Traditional Sufi music uses instruments such as the ney, a reed flute, the oud, a stringed instrument, and the daf, a type of drum, all of which have deep symbolic meanings. The ney, for instance, is often seen as the voice of the soul calling out to the divine, while the daf represents the heartbeat of the universe. The poetry of Rumi, especially when recited or sung during Sama, also plays a vital role. His words are more than mere literary expression. They are sacred utterances designed to awaken the soul. Rumi's poetry speaks of love, longing, and the mystical path, and his words resonate deeply with those who are open to the spiritual dimensions of existence. In Sufism, music and dance are not viewed as worldly distractions or indulgences, but as powerful spiritual tools that help break down the barriers between the self and the divine. Sufi mystics believe that the material world is filled with illusions that prevent the soul from realizing its true nature. Music and dance, as forms of art and expression, serve as ways to transcend these illusions and connect with the deeper, more spiritual realms of existence. Rumi's use of music and dance was deeply rooted in the idea that everything in the universe is in constant motion and vibration. The entire cosmos, according to Sufi metaphysics, is in a state of divine dance. The stars move, the planets orbit, and the wind blows in perfect harmony, all part of a cosmic symphony. Music and dance, then, are reflections of the eternal movement of the universe, and by participating in them, the seeker is aligning themselves with this cosmic rhythm. One of the key concepts in Rumi's philosophy is the idea of divine love, which is often depicted as a magnetic force that draws the soul toward God. In this context, music and dance are seen as expressions of this divine love. When the dervishes whirl, they are symbolizing the soul's yearning for God and the magnetic pull of divine love. The turning of the body mirrors the soul's eternal rotation around the divine, moving ever closer to the source of all love and creation. Moreover, the practice of sama is meant to cultivate a sense of surrender and trust in the divine. As the dancers lose themselves in the rhythm and movement, they let go of their egos and desires, allowing themselves to become vessels for divine energy. This surrender is a form of spiritual purification, where the dancer is not in control of the movements, but rather is guided by a higher power. Through this surrender, the soul experiences freedom and union with God. In this sense, music and dance become a form of prayer. The dancer's body becomes a medium through which divine grace flows, and the music serves as an invocation of that grace. This is why sama is not just a performance or artistic expression. It is a sacred act, a form of worship that has the potential to bring the seeker into direct contact. Rumi's teachings on music and dance continue to resonate with spiritual seekers around the world. His emphasis on divine love and the importance of mystical practices has inspired countless individuals to explore their own spiritual journeys. In many ways, Sama and Rumi's philosophy have transcended the boundaries of Islam, reaching people from diverse cultural and religious backgrounds. Today, Rumi's poetry and teachings are often found in meditation centers, yoga studios, and spiritual gatherings, where people engage with his work in a variety of ways, including through dance and music. In the West, Rumi's influence can be seen in the growing interest in ecstatic practices, such as those found in contemporary dance and mindfulness practices. The idea of using movement and sound as a means of connecting with the divine has found a home in modern spiritual circles, where individuals seek a more embodied and experiential approach to spirituality. Sama, in this context, has become a symbol of the universal desire for spiritual connection, regardless of religious background or tradition. At the same time, the practice of Sama is still very much alive in the Mevlevi tradition, where it continues to be performed as a form of spiritual devotion. For those who engage with Sama in its traditional form, it is a reminder of the timelessness of Rumi's teachings and the enduring power of music and dance as vehicles for spiritual transformation. The role of music and dance in Rumi's Sufi tradition is a powerful reminder of the transformative potential of art and spirituality. Through the practice of Sama, Rumi and his followers have shown that music and movement are not merely forms of entertainment, but sacred rituals that can lead to spiritual awakening and union with the divine. Whether through the whirling dance of the dervishes, the poetry of Rumi, or the sacred music that accompanies these practices, Sama invites the seeker to step beyond the self and into the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. In a world that often feels disconnected from the spiritual dimensions of life, Rumi's teachings offer a timeless invitation to reconnect with the divine through the sacred practices of music and dance. As we continue to explore the teachings of great mystics and spiritual traditions, let us remember the profound lesson that Rumi imparted. The path to the divine is not a solitary journey, but a dance in which we all participate, moving together in the rhythm of divine love. If you've enjoyed exploring the role of music and dance in Rumi's Sufi tradition and want to continue this unfolding journey of spiritual discovery, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's much more to uncover as we dive deeper into mystical traditions, timeless wisdom, and transformative practices.